Welcome back to Books and Bites. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a fascinating read. It's called The Pregnant Virgin, A Process of Psychological Transformation by Marion Woodman. Now, before anyone gets the wrong idea, this isn't about a literal pregnancy. The book is about a psychological and spiritual journey. Actually, yeah, the title itself, The Pregnant Virgin, it's kind of a paradox. It really hints at this journey of transformation that Woodman explores.
Yeah, definitely a journey of transformation. The book really dives deep into that. It uses this really intriguing metaphor of a pregnant virgin to help us understand this idea of recognizing and nurturing the untouched potential we all have inside, while also acknowledging the growth and evolution that's always happening within us.
Right, so it's about recognizing that potential that's just waiting to be explored.
Yeah.
That sense of wholeness we have even before external forces start to shape us.
Exactly. That's the virgin aspect of the metaphor. But then you also have the pregnant aspect, which symbolizes the gestation of something new. This could be a new awareness, a transformed self, a creative project, really anything that's waiting to emerge into the world.
That makes a lot of sense. It's so interesting how Woodman takes these two ideas that seem contradictory, the untouched purity of the virgin and the fertile potential of pregnancy, and she combines them to kind of show the paradoxical nature of transformation.
Absolutely. It's a powerful paradox. Imagine having this incredible idea or possibility inside you, something that has the power to change everything, but it hasn't fully taken form yet. That's the essence of the pregnant virgin, that potential that's within each of us, waiting to be realized.
Okay, that's a great way to put it. Now, Woodman doesn't shy away from discussing the things that hold us back from tapping into this potential and becoming our true selves. She talks a lot about the impact of patriarchal structures and how they affect both men and women.
Yeah, she's very critical of those structures, particularly the way they emphasize logic, control, and achievement, often at the expense of other qualities, like emotions, intuition, and creativity. Those traits that are traditionally associated with the feminine.
And that pressure to conform can be really stifling, especially for women who are often held to these impossible standards of perfection.
Exactly. It leads to a disconnect from their bodies and their true feelings. They end up living a life based on someone else's script instead of their own.
Yeah, it's all about recognizing those societal norms.
Yeah.
And how they can prevent us from being our authentic selves.
Right. And Woodman argues that we can't just think our way out of these patterns. We need to feel them, experience them in our bodies. She really emphasizes the importance of embodiment. It's about moving beyond just the intellect and connecting with our physical sensations, our emotions, and our gut instincts.
So she's saying we need to reconnect with our bodies and really start to listen to what they're telling us.
Exactly. She suggests several practices to help us do this, like paying attention to our dreams. Dreams can offer insights into our unconscious desires and fears. She also talks about the importance of movement, things like yoga or dance, to really tap into our physicality. And she encourages creative expression as an outlet for our emotions.
It's about finding different ways to tune in and recognize the wisdom that our bodies hold. Now, another key aspect of Woodman's approach is her use of Jungian dream analysis, which I think might be a new concept for some people.
Yeah, Jungian psychology is a whole field in itself. It views dreams as messages from our unconscious. And Woodman is really skilled at deciphering these messages. She helps us understand that dreams aren't just random images. They're actually trying to tell us something, revealing our hidden fears, desires, and aspects of ourselves that we might not be consciously aware of.
So instead of just dismissing our dreams, we should be paying attention to them and trying to understand what they might be telling us.
Exactly. For example, she describes a woman who keeps having dreams about giving birth, but she feels completely unprepared. Woodman suggests this could symbolize her fear of embracing her creative potential, or maybe her reluctance to step into a new role in her life.
It's like the dream is pointing to a deeper struggle that she might not even be aware of on a conscious level.
Right. And by paying attention to these symbols in our dreams, we can start to unpack those conflicts and integrate those hidden parts of ourselves that are longing to be acknowledged.
Okay, now we're going to move into some pretty deep territory here with the concept of the inner masculine, or the animus, as it's known in Jungian psychology. This is a crucial part of understanding Woodman's framework.
Yeah, the animus can be a complex concept to grasp, but it's essential to Woodman's work. It's all about the masculine energy within a woman's psyche. Now, it's not about being masculine in the traditional sense. It's more about accessing those qualities of assertiveness, clear decision-making, and balanced logic.
So it's not about conforming to societal expectations of masculinity, but about integrating those qualities into a holistic sense of self.
Precisely. And the way this animus manifests can be different for everyone. It depends on your individual experiences and upbringing. For instance, a woman who was raised in a very critical environment might develop a harsh inner critic that constantly pushes her towards perfection.
So it's like an internalized version of those external pressures and expectations.
Exactly. And in those cases, the journey becomes about transforming that harsh inner critic into a supportive inner guide. It's about reclaiming your own authority and learning to trust your own judgment. It's about finding that balance between the masculine and feminine energies within, so you can navigate the world with strength and compassion.
Now, Woodman is very clear that this process of transformation isn't always easy. She acknowledges that real change can be messy and sometimes even painful.
Right. She introduces this concept of the dark night of the soul. It's a period of intense emotional and spiritual upheaval that many people experience on their journey of transformation.
For those who might not be familiar with that term, could you explain a little bit more about what the dark night of the soul entails?
Sure, it's a time when you might feel a lot of confusion and loss, like everything is falling apart. The old patterns and beliefs that you've held on to for so long start to crumble away, and it can leave you feeling disoriented and unsure of yourself.
Wow, that sounds really challenging. Is it really necessary to go through something like that in order to grow?
Woodman believes it is. She says that in order to create something new, sometimes you have to let go of the old. And that letting go can be incredibly difficult and painful. Think of a caterpillar dissolving in its cocoon before it can emerge as a butterfly. That process of dissolution, while necessary, can feel chaotic and frightening.
So it's a period of darkness and uncertainty, but it's also a necessary dismantling of the old self to make way for the new.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that this dark night of the soul isn't a sign of failure. It's actually an indication that you're on the right track. You're shedding what no longer serves you, creating space for something new and authentic to emerge.
So how do we navigate this difficult period? Does Woodman offer any guidance on how to move through this dark night of the soul?
She emphasizes the importance of surrendering to the process. I know it's natural to want to resist the pain and discomfort, but that resistance often just prolongs the experience. It's about learning to lean into the discomfort, allowing yourself to feel the full range of emotions, even the difficult ones. Seeking support during this time can also be really helpful, whether it's through therapy, spiritual practices, or close relationships.
So it's a time to be gentle with ourselves.
Yeah.
And allow ourselves to be fully present with our experience, even when it's hard.
Exactly. And it's during this dark night that the metaphor of the pregnant virgin comes full circle. There's a death of the old self, a shedding of those outdated patterns and beliefs. But at the same time, there's a new life, a new consciousness being gestated within.
So the dark night of the soul isn't an ending, but a transition, a necessary stage in the process of becoming our true selves.
Precisely. And Woodman assures us that after the darkness, there's a period of rebirth and integration. You emerge from this process stronger, more authentic, and more aligned with your true self.
What does this new phase look like? What can we expect once we've moved through the dark night?
Well, you might find yourself more aligned with your values, with stronger boundaries and healthier relationships. There's often a greater connection to your intuition and creativity, and a deeper sense of purpose and meaning in your life.
It's like stepping into a more authentic version of yourself, one that's more aligned with your values and desires.
Exactly. Woodman shares this powerful example of a woman who struggled to express her truth, especially in her relationships. She spent years silencing herself, afraid of conflict or disapproval.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that fear of speaking up and asserting their needs.
Absolutely. But through her own journey of self-discovery, this woman learned to honor her voice and communicate her needs assertively, but also compassionately. She learned to set boundaries and stand up for herself in a way that felt authentic and powerful.
So she was able to break free from that pattern of self-silencing and step into her own power.
Yes, and it's inspiring to see how this transformative journey can lead to more fulfilling and authentic relationships.
Absolutely, by showing up authentically. She created space for more genuine and meaningful connections.
Exactly. It's a testament to the power of embracing our true selves.
The Pregnant Virgin seems to offer a message of hope and the boundless potential that resides within each of us. It reminds us that transformation is a continuous journey, always offering new discoveries about ourselves.
It's about embracing that journey with all its twists and turns and recognizing that we're constantly evolving, shedding old layers, and embracing new possibilities.
It's a call to recognize the seeds of transformation we each carry within. It's an invitation to dive deep into your own inner landscape. For anyone who's on a journey of self-discovery, no matter where they are on that path,
I think so too.
it blends psychological insight, mythological symbolism, and personal reflection. It's a really fascinating exploration of the human psyche.
It is. It challenges us to confront our shadows, embrace our strengths, and step into who we really are.
If you're interested in exploring these ideas further, you can find a link to purchase The Pregnant Virgin in the episode description. It's a great opportunity to dive deep into your own inner world and discover the transformative power that lies within.
I highly recommend it. It really is a journey.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been a pleasure.
And we'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share your reflections in the comments below.
Until next time.
Happy reading, everyone.